I'm back, I'm biased, I'm bothered, and I am always unfiltered. If you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. But you still haven't managed to worthy up? Not to worry, let's get into this mess. Lads, this is a good one. We are diving into this scrub tell all. Apparently, TLC wanted this gone, but I got my sticky fingers on. I couldn't find this thing anywhere. Anyway, let's go. So, we're with all the adults and a woman named Natalie Morales. I don't know who this woman is, but from the jump, I do like her, okay? So, this is the setup Robyn, Cody, and Janelle on one sofa, Christine and Meri on another sofa, and Natalie in between them. Now, my first thought, okay? Who the hell dressed Christine? Because it looks like she got everything that would clash from her wardrobe and decided, yeah, this is a great idea. I'm just going to wear all these things together. Now, I have to tell the people, right? Orange on a very white, very blonde person never looks good. Never. Trust me on that one. Anyway, they're talking about the family going public and moving to Las Vegas. Now, Cody says that they are happy, but they're not together. I thought that is very, very telling. Anyway, Robyn is then saying that the kids miss each other like crazy. Now, bear all this in mind, right? This is the same woman who said that her kids are being bullied, okay? This is a woman who went on honeymoon and left her kids with her mother and her stepdaddy. She wouldn't leave them with the OGs, right? She wouldn't even leave her kids with the OGs when she went back to Lehigh to pick up a bit of stuff. And she would not even send those poor feckin' kids to one of the other houses when she was birthing Solomon. Like her kids are not integrated into this family at all. So this is crap and it's a lie. Now Natalie is asking Cody about his house hopping and if he has to go like every night from house to house. The chap is stumbling over his words, okay? He is saying yeah, but he's stumbling. And of course, we know that that's a lie. We know he's not doing anything other than going to Robin's. So we're finding out about the book that the family wrote. Now, this seems like it was a promotion of the book, okay? Now, I read this book. I have to say, I thought it was feckin' awful, but the book that Natalie Morales has read sounds feckin' brilliant, okay? And this woman has the book with her with pages upon pages of notes. Now, according to Cody and Christine, they didn't read like the other people's parts of the books until the whole thing was written. Because Christine said that she didn't want to know. She thought it was very intrusive to find out what the other people had wrote. So when she did finally get to read it, she said that she was shocked. And I thought, I bet you were, you know? Oh my goodness. Anyway, Natalie, I have to say, she's just going straight for the jugular here, okay? And she says that one of the revelations in the book is that Cody was a ladies' man and he chased girls in school. And she's asking, like, if he chose his fate because, like, you basically get to be a hero, you know? And then I got all the way confused. I'm very bothered because Cody says that he was 14 when he was figuring out his spirituality, but we know that he was on his Mormon mission when his parents decided to become like a biblical trouble, basically, you know, because we watched him. We have watched Cody and Ken Grant talking about when his family became polygamist. Remember they took this solo boat trip and they left all the other family behind? Yes, we have just watched that, okay? Anyway, Cody's hair here, I have to say, it cheered me up so much to see this, okay? I love seeing the origins. I love seeing the origins of the skin band. I see it coming through, and he has the little strands of scraggly hair over it. Oh, I love seeing it. I do sometimes get worried that he might shave it. Oh, I don't like to think about that. It makes me sad. Anyway, Cody is disagreeing with Natalie Morales, okay? He's saying, like, basically, he's not a womanizer. And Christine is saying she agrees. And I thought, stop it, Christine. You're going to hate this guy very soon. Now, Cody does let us know that he has done the emotional work in these relationships, and this is what the man says, right? He says that he wants everybody to connect to God to feel fulfilled. To feel fulfilled. I loved it. I loved it. Now, of course, Natalie is not buying any of this shit, okay? And Cody does say that he chose all his wives, and I thought that's very interesting because now Cody says that they begged like dogs to be part of the family, okay? Anyway, now we're finding out about Cody and Meri. So Cody was 22 and Meri was 19 when these two got married. And as we know, they have Leon. But unfortunately, Meri did have another pregnancy and she lost it because she had a miscarriage, which is incredibly fucking heartbreaking, okay? But Natalie is just driving straight in, okay? And she asked Meri, did you feel less of a wife to Cody? Basically, like, because you're barren. Now, Natalie is reading excerpts from the book and retelling Meri what she said. Meri did feel less than by the other wives because, like, she couldn't have more children. But Meri reckons like they weren't trying to make her feel like that on purpose. She did, like she was just insecure because of that, obviously like she's gonna be. And we're finding out her relationship with Robyn. And Natalie is reminding us that just after having Solomon, Robyn made that insincere as fuck offer to have a baby for Meri, okay? Now, Natalie is asking Meri, why is she not having another baby? And Meri is telling her, like, she's older. Leon, they're about like to go to college, okay? And Leon is probably going to be gone by the time a new baby would even arrive. Now, Cody reckons he should be included in this conversation also. But then Christine basically says, right, that she never even tells Cody when she wants to have another baby. I thought, oh wow. But then Cody says that him and Meri have been down the infertility roller coaster for a long time. I thought, no, you haven't. No, you have not, okay? Because it was only offered to Meri on our 20th anniversary. That's when we had the conversation about the IVF. And we've never even seen these people like with an IVF doctor. Because of course that would have been filmed. So this is crap and it's a lie. But then, lads, we're talking about the teenage girl that Cody and Meri were dating. She was 18 years old. Ooh. Anyway, they both said, okay, that they fell in love with this girl. And Natalie wants to know why Meri wanted to bring this teenager into the family. And Meri says that they just clicked and they were friends. Oh, but Natalie is not having this, okay? Natalie is not. Because Natalie says in the book you wrote that you had a crush on the teenager and that you mistook her for love. And Mary is saying that they did love each other, okay? But not a love that they could bring into their family. And I thought that sounds all the way gay to me. Because she said that she loved spending time with this teenager on their own without Cody. I thought that was so interesting. Now, Cody says that they chose to end the courtship and it was almost like it being left at the altar kind of situation. I think that Mary and the teenager like had a relationship. They were doing something, okay? And like Cody kind of caught them because Cody says that he didn't feel it was long lasting and he didn't feel it was right for them. So I'm thinking these two, okay, Mary and this teenage girl, it sounds to me like they had a bit of a relationship and Cody wasn't happy about it. Anyway, we're seeing that great picture again of the matching cardigans. Oh, I love that picture. I have to say, Cody and Mary do actually look like brother and sister. But then I see another picture and I think Janelle borrowed one of the cardigans. Oh, anyway, now we're finding out about Cody and Janelle. And Natalie reminds us that Janelle was actually married to Mary's brother. And thank God, okay? Thank God for Natalie Morales. Because we never get this mentioned on the show, okay? Never. Now, Cody tells us that him and Janelle did not have a romantic courtship. But he looked at Janelle and said to himself that she would raise mighty fine sons. I thought, oh my God, stick that on a fucking Hallmark card. But anyway, according to him, they didn't have romance, but they did like to talk about finances. And I thought, cheapers, that sounds lovely. Now, Natalie is asking Mary about, like, did she fall in love, like, with Janelle? Because, like, she fell in love with the other person, and how did she feel about Janelle coming into the family? And Mary's reply is just that she was very okay with Janelle. Now, Natalie is not having any of this. Like, she's not having any about it. Because she said, like, that's not what you said in the book, Mary. But, like, of course, Mary didn't want Janelle. Janelle had just been banging her brother. Anyway, Mary says that the relationship with Janelle still struggles. We know, and that's still happening to this day. Now, I do have to say, Cody is really coming to Mary's defense, like in this whole thing. And Cody is saying, well, you did just leave like the relationship with the teenager because Mary expected like all the relationships to be like the one that she had with the teenager. And I thought, is this why he got Janelle, okay? Because he knew that these two would hate each other. Anyway, Mary and Janelle, they did not enjoy each other's company basically and were very critical of each other. I thought, oh man, can you imagine if we had cameras there? TLC, you did us so dirty. Like we missed out on so much. Anyway, apparently when Janelle moved in to Mary and Cody's guest bedroom, she felt like a guest that had outstayed her welcome. And then her and Mary used to be cordial, but now like they were just like so frosty to each other. But I have to say, Cody is back like defending Mary again and saying that Mary wasn't the villain here and that she just had a colossal opinion. That's what the man said. Anyway, so basically these two just hated each other and Cody like was in the middle and like hoping that they were gonna work it out. And then of course 6 months after Cody and Janelle got married, like Janelle got pregnant, and then Natalie said to Mary, Janelle was the first to get pregnant. How hard was that for you? And I thought, for God's sake, Natalie, obviously it was very fucking hard for you. And we're talking about Janelle's part of the book. Oh my God. So she gets pregnant, okay? And she says, like, Mary wasn't able to conceive in the 3 years of marriage, but she didn't care how Mary felt about her news being pregnant, okay? And Natalie like is reading this back to Janelle, and Janelle's just like, well, that's how I felt at the time. I thought, oh my God. Well, at least she stands by what she says. I'll give her that. Now, we're hearing the story that I actually know, okay? It's about Janelle and the makeup. So Janelle and her friends, like they were trying out different makeups. And Mary was making fun of Janelle for wearing makeup. But now Janelle was pregnant at this stage, okay? So Janelle says, like, this was the last straw, and that she nearly had a nervous breakdown. But Natalie is asking Mary if she was behaving like that because Janelle was having a baby. And I thought, feckin' hell, Natalie, take it easy. Anyway, Janelle being pregnant was not the reason that Mary was behaving like this, apparently, okay? She was just an awful feckin' bitch. Anyway, thankfully, Mary did have a baby, okay? After a year. A year after Logan was born, like she finally had a baby, thankfully, okay? She had Leon. But things are certainly not going to settle down, okay? Because Janelle is telling us that after she had Gabriel, now that's baby number 5, right? Her and Mary got into such a fight that Janelle ended up packing up her and the kids and she left to go and stay with her mother, okay? So her mother is married to Cody's father. It's a family wreath, I tell you, and you have to keep up. Now, unfortunately, neither of them, like, they won't tell us what the fight was about. I'd love to know, but they won't say. But they are just saying like it was little arguments like throughout time. And Cody says it was the straw that broke the camel's back. But Natalie is asking, what was that straw? Like she's really trying to get an answer, but they won't say, unfortunately, okay? Now, Natalie is asking Mary if she regrets being such a bitch, like that Janelle had to leave with the 5 kids. And then Cody is piping up again and like taking the blame, and he's saying that it was all his fault. But Natalie doesn't want to hear from Cody. She's asking Mary, but Mary is doubling down and basically saying she didn't do anything wrong. So unfortunately, we are never going to find out unless Cody spills, which I believe he will. That man is going to write a book. I know he is. Anyway, now we're having like a little one-on-one with Janelle and Natalie, okay? And Janelle is talking, right? And Natalie says to her, I read the book and I felt your pain, but listening to you talk today, it's like you're saying something like basically completely different. Now, Natalie is asking Janelle if Mary was mean to her, and Janelle just says that Mary was hard on her. Now, Natalie is correcting Janelle on the wording, and she's saying she was mean to you. And apparently, these two, like Janelle and Mary, are always going to be working on their relationship. I have to say, right, this sounds like a feckin' nightmare. But anyway, this whole thing is overlaid with flashbacks and pictures, and now we're seeing the clip of Cody saying that he's not the only person in love with Robyn, and we see Mary and Robyn like getting very close to one another and hugging. Anyway, now we're all on the sofa again, talking about Cody and Christine's relationship. Yikes. Anyway, Cody says that Christine was a peacekeeper to the family, and that like she really did save their bacon. And Natalie asked Christine, did you know basically that you were stepping into World War III? Now, Christine says that she's grown up in polygamy, it's all she's ever known, and that she knew there could be friction between the wives. She also says that she didn't know half of what was written in that book. Oh my goodness. So in the book, Cody wrote about Christine, and as he was writing about her, he said things like she was the cutest girl, okay, but she was a little chubby. And Christine says, I was a little chubby. And I thought, stop it, Christine, okay? Oh, and then we're hearing the story. So apparently Christine was eating nachos. And like this just disgusted Cody. Well, he said he was grossed out, okay? And that nearly put a dampener on the relationship. And Natalie is asking Cody about the nachos and his feelings towards Christine. And if size like really matters to him. And Cody says that he was not attracted to Christine in any physical sense. Fucking hell. And Natalie repeats back to Cody, so you're not attracted to Christine? And this man doubles down and says, that's an understatement. Oh my, can you imagine hearing your father saying that about your mother. Oh my goodness. Anyway, obviously Christine, like, she's not very fucking happy about this, but she didn't even know about it until like she read the whole book, you know? Now Natalie is asking the woman, like the other wives, how like they feel about this, and thank God for Mary, okay? Because she's the only one that pipes up. Now, she doesn't say an awful lot, okay? But in fairness, she does at least say something, okay? And what she says is, like, basically, you can be truthful, you know, but you don't have to be so hurtful. And I thought, thank God we have Mary in this family. Now, Cody and Natalie are now having a little one-on-one, and Natalie is asking Cody about what he said, like in regards to Christine, and Cody says he does love Christine, but it didn't start out romantic, okay? So she's given Cody like another chance here, and she's asking him, do you regret saying that about Christine? Basically, he doesn't regret it, okay? He doesn't regret saying that. But I did pick up on a lie because Cody says that the Nacho Chia situation happened years before they got married. It didn't. It didn't because Christine was 22 when they got married, okay? And the Nacho incident happened when they were courting, and they only court for a very short time before they got married. So this is absolute crap, and this is an absolute lie. Like, they were only courting for like about 6 weeks or something, you know, like before they got married. So it's all bullshit. But anyway, he got over the Nacho incident, and I thought that's very fucking big of him, you know. And these two did get married. Now, Christine does say that she should have waited longer before, like, to get married, because when Cody showed up to the wedding, she knew, like, by looking at him, that he basically wasn't very fucking happy. But she didn't realize, like, that it was too rushed, because, like, he asked her to marry him, so she thought, like, that was going to be the next step. And also, like, they do get married, like, very quickly in this religion. But she does let us know that she had never even been kissed by Cody before she got married. And Cody is saying that that's common in their culture. So he knew what he was doing, like something very wrong when he was kissing Robyn, because that's not part of their religion, okay? But he did it anyway. Anyway, Christine wonders like if he was actually in love with her when he got married, because she says that she was in love with him a lot and he was in love with her like a little bit. Oh, and she finds that very hurtful. Oh my goodness. Now, apparently, right, Christine also had issues with Meri. This is all kinds of crazy. Oh my goodness. So Meri got pregnant, okay, finally. And Christine was resentful because Christine was 4 months pregnant at the time Meri got pregnant. And I thought, it just sounds like these were banging like 24/7, you know? Now, Christine actually told Meri, I hope you don't get pregnant. And the reason that she said it was because it wouldn't have been so special for Christine because, like, it was her first pregnancy. And I thought, this is all the way messed up. This is fucking mental. But she does say, like, that it was mean of her to be saying something like that. Poor Mary, you know. Oh my goodness. And then we find out, anyway, that it was years later these two had a big fight. So Christine didn't like the way Mary was parenting her children. So that got me thinking about what Peyton and McKelty said, because they have said like that Mary wasn't very nice to them. Anyway, whatever happened, these two, like, they still haven't made up. But they're trying, but it's not like it was before. Because apparently, like, these two are besties, according to them, anyway. But now Christine doesn't trust Mary, and actually, like, she doesn't trust any of them. And I thought, what the hell kind of family is this? You know, imagine not, like, trusting anybody in your family. And now we're going to talk to the older kids. And I thought, thankfully, because these older kids, like, at least they talk sense, you know. Anyway, we will catch up with the kids and the rest of the adults in our next recap. Lads, it only gets weirder from here. It really does. Anyway, that's part one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.